Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our dear brother. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. The translation reads like this. Hello brother Nashi, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? My name is Tendai, not his real name. I am a man who is aged 44 years old. I have worked my way up to become a very successful mining subcontractor here in South Africa. But what people do not know is the dark path that I had to take so as to protect my business and to secure my wealth. This is my own confession and I can no longer keep it hidden. So the disadvantage of you being a foreign guy that is married to a local woman, like in my own case, when I came to South Africa, I don't want to lie to you, I did not even have a birth certificate. I was an orphan. So back home, after my father had passed away, there was no one who was willing to go and help me to get a birth certificate. As you know that for you to get a birth certificate, you need your father's death certificate. And if your mom is still alive, it will be easy for you. As for my mom, my father was a womanizer. He had so many women. So my mom, she then came and dumped me at my father's doorstep. So there was no one who was willing to accompany me to go and get me a birth certificate. I came here to South Africa. At that time when I came to South Africa, I was only 21 years old. No future, nothing. I came and I started working. I worked so hard and I returned back home. And when I returned back home, that was when I was able to go and speak with the village headman. Even the surname that I use, it is the surname of the village headman. He was the one who went and he spoke on my behalf that indeed I had grown up in the village and there was no one amongst my relatives who wanted to assist me. I returned back to South Africa. When I returned back that time, I really wanted to get involved in this mining thing. I got so lucky and I started being a subcontractor. And when I was a subcontractor, since I did not even have any documentation, then I started dating a woman that I really loved. I don't know if she fell in love with me because she wanted me or it was because of the money that I was getting. The problem that I was now facing was that as someone who did not have a bank account, it was going to be very difficult for me to keep on getting this contract. I was able to get the subcontract because at my age, I was someone that was highly experienced. You know, when you have suffered so much in life, you push, and I had been pushing in life so much that I was someone who had so much experience. So me and this woman, we then sat down. We sat down, it was me and her parents as well. And then they decided that since I was struggling in my business, she was the one who was going to be the main director in this company. She would be leading everything. Then I will be heading the operations on the ground. So we got married and I paid for the lobola and we were so happy. I taught her everything. She did not even know how to create an invoice or to do anything. I taught her everything. And every asset that we had, it was in her name. And I never thought that women, they do change. When we started like making real money, that was when in 2016, my life started to crumble down. That was when I noticed that I had made a mistake. I had this other massive coal contract that was lined up, one that would have solidified my place as a key player in the industry. However, around the same time, my marriage fell apart. My wife and I were divorced. And as soon as that happened, everything began to go wrong. This family, they did me bad, Brother Nash. This woman, she had denied me sexual intercourse for nearly 4 months. As a man, what else was I supposed to do? I fell for it like a fool. She had her own cousin sister. So her cousin sister was really friendly with me. I was the one who was taking her through university. One night, she called me as she was crying and she told me that her boyfriend had dumped me. I went there. When I went there to the apartment where I was renting for her, I did not have the intentions of sleeping with her. But when I got into that apartment, what she was dressing, it made me to feel like sleeping with her, and I had not slept with a woman in a very long time. The moment that we started making out, that was when her sister walked on me. She had followed me when I had gotten out of the house, and she said that I had been cheating on her with her cousin sister, so she wanted a divorce. I cried, I begged her, because I knew that I was going to lose everything. The contract nearly slipped through my fingers, and I could feel that if I was going to lose this contract, I was even going to lose some of my business partners. I was desperate, and in my desperation, that was when I sought help from one of my uncles. This uncle of mine, he is also into mining. He's a small-time miner in Zim. I quickly returned back home, and I told him that this was what was happening to me. We rushed to this other powerful traditional healer. I was told that if I wanted to regain control of my life and my business, I needed something more than just hard work. I needed a Tokolosheis. That was when I made the choice to acquire a Tokolosheis. This is the creature that I have been using in this business, Brother Nashi. This creature, it protects me from any business threat. This Tokolosheis is not just an ordinary one. I took this Tokolosheis, it is in form of a baboon. After I had been given this baboon's skull, that was when I was instructed to keep it hidden. I have my big mansion, which is back home in Glenlawn, Zim. That is where it stays. It is locked away in one of the empty rooms. So this is how I feed this Tokolosheis. Each and every time that I visit my country, I make it a point to hand out money to homeless people on the streets. This I have to do just after sunset. To anyone, it looks like I am being generous, but in reality, I am marking them. These people, they will be desperate for a bit of cash to survive. You can just imagine, in Harare, someone offers you 100 to 200 US dollars. It's a lot. And you will be unknowingly sacrificing your destiny. And I feed your destiny to my Tokolosheis. This baboon, it thrives on their life force, and in return, what then happens is that here in South Africa, I have become a man who is feared by many of my competitors and my business partners. This monkey skull, Brother Nashi, this is what I did. When I started dating another woman who is a South African woman, I then went back home in Zim. I had collected one of her used underwears, like at that time when she was coming to stay with me here and there. That was when I took one of her underwears and I hid it. She did not even bother to look for it, like she is someone who is spoiled from a very young age. She also come from a wealthy family. She's that type of a woman, like when she is on her periods, she just remove her underwear and just drops it, even with the sanitary pad there. She expects that our maid has to do everything for her. When I saw that this is how she is spoiled, I told her that I do not want you to do anything, to clean, even to make up the bed. I don't want you to do that. The reason as to why I encouraged her to be that type of a woman who does nothing than to go and get her hair done, her manicure and her pedicure, it is because I wanted to use that opportunity to steal her underwear. And when I got that opportunity, I then returned back to Zim. When I returned back to Zim, inside that monkey skull, inside that baboon's skull, that is where I inserted a used underwear. So this woman, she is under my influence, and I am the one who will control her. I had to do this because I did not want to lose millions and millions like I lost in my first marriage. This is my own story, Brother Nashi. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our dear brother, hoping that you were able to understand that translation. Yo.